Hey guys, what is up? In this video, I'm going to teach you how to create beautiful aesthetic Instagram feeds just like my one and how to edit them and the apps I use. Now, it took a lot of trial and error really to get from the late 2010s kind of Instagram feed right up until the minimal era came into play, which is the kind of feed that I'm going to show you today and how to edit it. If you are new to my channel, don't forget to like and subscribe this video and turn that notification bell on so you'll be updated on my future uploads. Now, I don't use a lot of apps to edit my pictures, only because I don't like it if there's so many steps involved and it gets kind of overwhelming instead of it being like a fun process. The 4 apps that I use is actually Lightroom. That's the main one that I use. The Lightroom mobile, which you can have for free or you can upgrade for any extras that you want. This is not a sponsored video, by the way. I just absolutely love Lightroom because I can make presets on there and that will just edit my photos sometimes really quickly rather than having to set it every single time. The next app that I use is Retouch. Now, Retouch, I use that mainly if I want to remove something from the photo, like rubbish here and there. If, let's say, the walls has got some stickers on or people in the background, Retouch is a really good app for that, and it's free. As far as I can remember, I didn't have to pay anything for that one. The third app that I use is Preview. So of course, once you have edited all your pictures, you need to make sure if all of your photos that you are about to upload or potentially will upload matches and it's consistent with one another. The fourth app, which is technically not an app but it's an in-house editing system in the photos section. I will explain it in more detail later on in the video. But yeah, those are just the main 4 things that I used. I might use Facetune once in a while, but honestly, for the past few months that I've been editing my photos, I haven't really used that at all. So, and it's quite pricey now. So let's get on the iPhone and do some editing. So I haven't done this in a long time, but I will put up my phone screen just right here so that you can see. My phone is set up, there's like a theme around it. It took so long. If you want a tutorial for how I did this, just drop me in the comment section below and I can do that. But essentially all the apps or all the stuff that I need to use is just in one line. That makes it easier for me rather than navigating everywhere on my phone. So the first thing that I do is I always go into Lightroom because that's the main editing software app that I use, and then I go into favorites because it's so much easier than running through all of your photos from your recent camera roll. And then let me just give you an example. Maybe I'll go for this one. So this one is an outdoor photo, although there's no direct sunlight, but you can see how bright it is, right? So I have already created my preset. So I just go into preset and then minimal. So this is usually my default preset for my Instagram feed. If the photo is a little bit darker, then I go into feminine, and as you can see there, the brightness is just way up than the minimal. Now, if you want my preset, you can actually, I'll try and link it somewhere down in the description box below so that you guys are able to use it as a template, and then you can just change it however you like. So I click on the check mark, that means I'm done with it. So I wanted to show you guys as well the breakdown of that preset that I made. So on the light section, the contrast is up by 20. The shadows is minus 25 and the blacks plus 30. And then the rest I just keep 0. And then color, the temperature is plus 6. But as you can tell from the photo, it's a little bit yellow and I don't really like it when it's too yellow. So in this case, I will reduce the temperature to just 0. And tint plus 3, vibrance minus 5. And for the effects, I like the hazy kind of look, so I reduced the clarity to -5. And then yeah, that's pretty much it. It's very simple. I don't like that kind of editing where it looks too fake, where the photo loses its color, and you just want to enhance your photo. You don't want to ruin it, okay? And then what I do is I export it to my camera roll, and then I go on to my photos album. And then as you can see here, it's in our recent. I save that just in case I lose it. And then I go on to edit within the camera roll, within the photos section of the iPhone. And then this is where I just reduce the exposure by a little bit. There you go. So in this photo, there isn't really anything that I want to kind of remove whatsoever, but if I were to remove something, if I was very technical about how I edit my photos, let's go to retouch. And on the recent photo that we edited, there's paint on the side that's kind of like leaking out. So what we can do is we can edit that if we tap on objects, and then just voila, you can see. There you go. So it's not very obvious, but it looks a lot cleaner. It's entirely up to you what you want to edit as well. Maybe the lines on your dress. But yeah, I suggest if you want to remove something from your photo, I would suggest doing retouch first before editing in Lightroom, only because it's just a bit weird. Like the finishing of it is a bit weird if you edit first and then do retouch. But yeah, that looks good as it is. Modify original, and then what I do is I go onto preview and then see if it matches with the other post that I have lined up or my previous post. So let's tap at the recent picture, and I think it looks fine. Maybe I need to reduce the exposure a little bit more, so this is where you do adjust it accordingly. For the indoor photo, let's go back to Lightroom, and then let's say this picture of me in an elevator or a lift. Tap on preset, minimal. I think minimal is better. And then color, I don't like it a bit yellow, so just keep it as it is. If you guys want to see like the difference of the edited and non-edited, it's just literally before and then after. Just makes the picture a little bit brighter. Like I said, I don't like my photos overly done up because it just ruins it, in my opinion. And then export to camera roll. And then let's go to photos. So it's here. And then I reduce the exposure by, since it's in an indoor photo, instead of doing like 25 or 20, I just try to do like 10 or 15. Adjusting the exposure to a darker range really gives off that mood, that vibe. I don't know, I can't explain it, but it's just so like, it's nice. And then I go back to preview, and let's see if that matches well. I mean, I've edited it here, but I'm gonna try and pretend that you guys haven't seen that yet. So done, and I think it looks good. It's just a little bit orangey, I think, but we can always adjust that by reducing the warmth a little bit more. You can do this in Lightroom or in the photo app. So yeah, so yeah, that's just what I do. I do like trial and error and all that kind of stuff. So that was it, you guys. That's how I edit my Instagram photos and create a really aesthetic feed. Now just some more tips for you guys. If you want a really minimal kind of photo or feed, I suggest taking pictures on less crowded places, preferably on a white background. As you can see from my Instagram feed, I do have some pictures which are taken on a very minimal background, but I do have some that still has character to them. I try to make sure that I either take photos on like a white background if there has to be a color. Usually these are just like with plants around them. I hope you guys enjoy the tutorial. If you do want to have an aesthetic Instagram feed and how these influencers edit them, these are some of the tips that I can show you. Most of them have just really got their exposure down to the lowest level, but yeah. Oh, and if you want to follow me on Instagram as well, my handle is at Mrs. May. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye! Mwah!